course, we have trial spokesperson Zia Alonto Adjong of Lanao del Sur, the chairman of the House Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms. Of course, we have the top litigator, the trial legal spokesperson of the House Impeachment, Attorney Benjamin J. Tolosa Jr. Sir, thank you for joining us this morning. And before we begin the media questions, I'll let the two of you to deliver your short opening statements. Let's begin with Spoksia, followed by Attorney J. Tolosa.
Thank you.
Kauzia, please proceed.
Thank you very much, Kuya Ryan. No? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Una sa lahat, nagpapasalamat po kami sa ating mga kasamahan sa media na narito at patuloy na naghahatid ng tama at up-to-date na impormasyon ukol sa impeachment sa publiko. Kakatapos lang po ng pre-trial conference kahapon at nakahanda ang prosecution na mag-submit ng kanilang mga komento. Hiningi na rin po ng prosecution sa impeachment court na buksan ng BIR box na naglalaman ng tax documents ng Vice President. Ang laman ng box ay parehong parte ng reserve evidence ng dalawang panig. Hindi natin hinihingi agad-agad na ma-admit ang mga ebidensya na ito. Ang hinihingi po ng prosecution ay supervised opening upang makita ang mga dokumento at mamarkahan ang mga ito upang maging mas matiwasay at mas madali ang diskusyon sa magiging impeachment trial. Ang impeachment proceeding ay isa sa mga exception sa confidentiality of tax information sa ilalim ng batas. This is the proper time, this is the proper venue, in the interest of justice, let us open the box. At panghuli po, nagpapasalamat po kami sa Senado sa matagumpay na pre-trial conference na nasaksihan ng sambayanang Pilipino. Ang pagtatapos po ng pre-trial conference ay isang malaking hudyat na wala pong maaaring hadlang sa pag-uumpisa ng actual impeachment trial sa nalalapit na July 6 na naayon sa ating saligang batas. 10 araw na lang po ang natitira upang ang Senado na uupong hukom ay madinig, makita at masuri ang ebidensya ng bawat panig na naaayon sa prinsipyo ng due process. Ang taong bayan po ay nakikinig, nagbabantay at nagmamatsyag. Deserve nila ang katotohanan at pawang katotohanan lamang. At yan po ang panata ng prosecution team. Ang ilatag ang katotohanan at pawang katotohanan lamang sa sambayan ng Pilipino sa nalalapit na paglilitis kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Maraming salamat po. Magandang umaga. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you po, Spoksia. Let's go to Attorney Tolosa, sir.
Thank you, sir, and good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. So the House Prosecution Panel is pleased to announce the successful completion of the pre-trial proceedings in the impeachment case against Vice President Sara Duterte. After 5 days of pre-trial conferences from June 18 and June 22 to 25, we have completed the marking of documentary exhibits, identification of our intended witnesses, submitted our respective proposals for stipulations, and made appropriate manifestations and requests in preparation for the trial proper on July 6. The good news is that with the completion of the pre-trial proceedings, the impeachment trial is now set to commence on July 6. We welcome this important milestone because it allows the constitutional process to move forward and gives the Filipino people the opportunity to hear the evidence, examine the facts, and know the truth through a fair, transparent, and orderly trial. We express our sincere appreciation to the Secretariat of the Impeachment Court for its guidance and the accommodations that it extended to both parties, which enabled us to complete this extensive process despite the thousands of documentary exhibits involved, particularly those relating to the articles of impeachment on explained wealth and confidential funds. From the very beginning, the House Prosecution Panel has remained committed to one objective: to complete the pre-trial proceedings as expeditiously and efficiently as possible while ensuring that the process remains fair, orderly, and faithful to the Constitution. We believe that this objective has been achieved. So this morning, we are ready to proceed to provide you an update on the completed pre-trial proceedings, address matters raised during the conference, and discuss the next steps as we prepare for the formal commencement of the impeachment trial. Again, thank you and good morning to all of you.
Salamat po sa inyong dalawa. Now, let's start the ball rolling by calling Mr. Billy Vegas of from Abante Politico. Billy?
Magandang umaga po.
Morning.
Tanong ko lang po, ibabalik ko lang po doon sa pre-trial conference. Normal po ba yung nangyari na magmamark lang ng evidence, ino-object pa?
Sige, let me respond to that. No? That's definitely unusual. No? So, during pre-trial conference, one of the important things that you do there is the marking of exhibits. Paliwanag ko, simple lang ho ito. Kung ito ho ang isa sa mga ebidensya na nasa pre-trial brief nyo, ito ay minamarkahan lang. No? Ito ay naririnig natin pangkaraniwan sa mga trial ho na Exhibit A, Exhibit B. No? So now, ang pagmamarka ng ebidensya, ang bawat partido na gustong magmarka ng kanyang ebidensya sa pre-trial, no? Ito ho ay decision nila. No? At hindi ho kailangan ipaliwanag kung bakit mo gustong markahan itong dokumento na to, no? O itong object na ito as your evidence. No? And they do not have the right to object to it. So, to answer your point, your question, very unusual ho yan, na even just the marking of the sealed BIR box was vehemently objected to by the other party.
Gusto ko lang po dagdagan yung sinabi ni Attorney J. Tolosa. No? Actually, yung sa BIR box na po yan, very important po yan doon sa unexplained wealth. No? Kung this is the only way we can actually explain kung tama ba po yung naka-reflect sa SALN na declared asset, declared liability, at saka yung legal lawful income na tinatanggap na ating Vice Presidente. So inyong pong pagmamarka, sa pagkakaalam ko po, and Attorney J. Tolosa can correct me if I'm wrong, it's not the stage of admissibility ng evidence. Para lang po mapresenta at masimplify kung ano yung ipipresenta ng mga possible na mga ebidensya. Hindi ang korte po ang may kapangyarihan para i-admit ito. So from the very start na ayaw nila, it only speaks to us one thing, no? Na parang takot sila mabuksan itong box na ito. No? Baka ito yata yung smoking gun. In fact, hindi lang hata ito smoking gun. Para mukhang armory na itong box na ito. No? So, it only speaks about their unwillingness to face the charges head-on. Kung may tamang proseso naman po na nilatag para maipresenta ng prosecution ang kanilang mga ebidensya, na ayon naman sa rules ng Senate ay hindi naman to itong punto ng pag-admit ng evidence but merely to mark the potential evidence that the prosecution would present, and then that stage alone, that early stage alone, i-object nila vehemently. Isa lang ang nasa utak ng ating taong bayan, sa isipan ng ating taong bayan. Natakot sila doon sa pagbubukas ng box na ito. Na galing sa BIR. Takot sila at wala silang maipaliwanag doon sa unexplained wealth na artikulo na kina-charge under the Articles of Impeachment.
Kong tsaka yung dalawang spokesman. Tanong ko na rin po, ano po ba yung laman ng box?
ITR po. Yes, Attorney J. Tolosa, you can proceed.
Tama ho eh. Ito ho ay sinumite no, ng BIR dun sa House Committee on Justice pursuant to a subpoena issued to them directing them to submit ITR filings of the respondent, her spouse, and their financial interests.
Kung dadagdagan ko po kasi kahapon din po na-explain ko ito ni Congresswoman De Lima, and Attorney J can confirm this, na isa din po doon sa magiging defense ng papresenta ng defense ay partly the ITRs, kung di ako nagkakamali, o dokumento galing sa BIR. So nagtataka po ang prosecution isa po yun sa kanilang ipipresenta as a way of also presenting to the court yung kanilang defense, bakit itong pinanggalingan ng ITR na pinanggalingan din ng kanilang magiging ebidensya ay ayaw nilang pabuksan. So instead of clarifying to the court and to the public minds na handa sila sumagot sa lahat ng paratang sa Vice Presidente, mukhang half-baked ang gusto nilang pag-uusap sa impeachment court. Ayaw nila yung buong picture because the ITR box nanggaling po sa BAR, that will give us the whole financial picture of what we are discussing here regarding the SALN and the unexplained wealth. Mukhang ang gusto nila half-baked lang. Wag na nating pag-usapan ng buo. So of course, the impeachment court ay may kapangyarihan naman po sila sa discretion po nila kung ano yung i-admit nila ng mga ebidensya. Ito lang po ay marking. Kumbaga, pagdating po ng korte, lahat naman po tayo nanonood ng mga trial drama. Ang markings lang po para ma-simplify kung if ever na pag-usapan na yung artikulo, and Attorney Jay can confirm this, we can immediately refer to a particular document, exhibit ganito. Para mas mapadali, expeditious yung trial, hindi masyadong conflagrated yung issue, specific at particular yung nire-refer natin na dokumento na ayon doon sa particular na artikulo na pinag-usapan ng korte.
And if I can just quickly add, your question is, ano ho bang laman itong document ng box na ito? And this is actually precisely one of the reasons why we want it to be open, no? Pero once and for all, let's open it together, no? And then we could inventory its contents, no? Para malaman na natin ano ba exactly ang mga documents na nandyan and markahan na, as pointed out by Kong Zia, total both parties, no, mentioned in their respective pre-trial briefs, no, their reservation, no, of evidence, which is this BIR submissions.
At saka we are very perplexed, no? Kasi the opening of the box will not only be with the Senate or the impeachment court with the prosecution alone. Hindi naman po supervised naman po ata ito na opening ng box. Ibig sabihin nandun din ang depensa. So it's very perplexing na if ever that this box will be open, it's also before in the presence of the defense. So doon ho tayo nagkakaroon din ng palaisipan kung bakit ayaw nila. Samantalang sila mismo ay magsusupervise sila sa marking nitong mga na marking ng mga dokumento na nilalaman nitong box na ito.
To clarify lang po, ngayon pong tapos na yung pre-trial conference at hindi po namarkahan yung BIR box, pwede pa rin po siyang i-present. Tama po ba?
Definitely, no. But well, first of all, what happened? So we filed a written request, no, asking for the opening of the box, and then yesterday, ang naging resolution ho ng clerk of court is to give the defense until the end of day today to file a written response. So it's still possible, no, that when the impeachment court resolves this matter, sasabihin na let's open it, no. This could be done either before the first hearing on July 6th or even while the trial is already ongoing. Pwede naman ho yan. So it doesn't mean that it was not open today, no, for close na possibility. But in our position is it would have been better, no, if it was open during the pre-trial conference, since precisely yan ho yung mga isang reason but ginagawa ho yan para ma-identify na at mamarkahan na mga ebidensya ng mga magkabilang panig.
Tsaka idadagdag ko lang kay Attorney Jay, no. I think nung na-experience naman po natin at saksihan na po natin, even during the Corona impeachment trial, there were evidence that were presented while the court was ongoing, the trial was ongoing. So minamarkahan naman po yan even during the trial of then the late Chief Justice. So that can also be done in this current trial. So hindi naman po yan baguhan while the trial is ongoing. Meron naman pong way to mark this evidence.
Sorry, tanong ko na rin po. After po ba nila mag-file ng comment, ano po bang susunod?
Okay. So we will wait for the impeachment court to act on that matter, no? And in fact, since the pre-trial conference has concluded yesterday, so the impeachment secretary would have, or clerk would have 10 days, no, to issue a pre-trial order. So we would be waiting for that.
Thank you po.
Salamat, Billy. Puntahan natin si Tina Panganiban Perez from GMA7 for her questions. Tina?
Thank you po. Attorney Tolosa, earlier you said that it was the decision of the panel to have whatever evidence they want marked, and that at the stage of the pretrial conference, hindi dapat nag-o-object yung kabilang party. Sir, ito layman question. Kung unusual yung pag-object ng defense panel dun sa pag-open ng BIR box, why didn't the prosecution panel insist on having it marked, since ebidensya nyo naman yun and you don't need to explain why you want it marked?
Actually, to correct that, we definitely insisted that we be allowed to market, and it was met with repeated and vehement objections on the part of the defense. So we really tried to have it marked, no? But since the ruling, no, made by the impeachment clerk was just to give the other party an opportunity to respond to this in writing and then just wait for the resolution. So that's what happened.
Opo, nabanggit po ni Chair Luistro that kung mag-a-agree naman yung defense, hindi na kailangan ng comment from both parties. Meron po bang like backdoor usap between the two panels na since ebidensya niyo rin naman ito, pamarkahan na natin ngayon?
No, we didn't see any need for that, no, kasi precisely both parties identified in their pre-trial briefs as part of their reserved documentary exhibits, the BIR submissions. No? So, kaya ang tingin namin, this should not be a contentious issue. Since pareho natin gustong gamiting ebidensya to, then let's open it, let's mark it. So, we didn't see any need for that.
Opo, sir, going to another topic. Naglista po kasi yung prosecution, di ba, ng several witnesses. Excluding the hostile witnesses, were all the witnesses on the list convinced, or did they already say that they will face the trial, give testimony during the trial? I mean, lahat ba sila umuo na mag-witness?
Except for the
hostile witnesses.
Hostile witnesses. Well, there are some, as you would see, there are reserved witnesses, no, because this pertains to people that we will have to request the court to issue subpoena so that we could present them as witnesses. So usually, kapag ganyan, possible ho yan yung subpoena is not directed to a particular person, but for example, an officer with these duties in a particular government agency. And then that government agency would send the appropriate representative. So, but for others, of course, they're very much willing to testify.
Ma'am Tina,
Yes po.
dadagdagan ko lang, no? Remember po the articles of impeachment. Nakita naman po natin during the confirmation hearing that those guests or those witnesses that were present, that were actually invited, ay mga galing po na empleyado, officers ng ating pamahalaan. So they themselves know exactly their responsibility and obligation to heed the request coming from the court. So I'm not preempting whatever is the arrangement as to the presentation of the witnesses, but what I can tell you is that these witnesses who we've seen during the confirmation hearings would be the exact witnesses that will be presented to the court na alam naman po nila kasi galing po silang, ang tinetestify lang po nila is the veracity ng mga dokumentong dinala po nila during the confirmation hearings. And I don't think there will be any trouble if we are talking of the obligation of these employees, not only to this to their work, but their mandate, but also to heed the request of the court.
Opo. I'd like to be specific about my question. Yung si Sheriff Andres po kasi, nakausap po ba siya ng PROSEC and did he agree to give his testimony before the impeachment court?
I hope you would understand that we can't give specifics with regard to evidentiary matters at this point.
Okay, I understand, sir. Ito isa pa pong specific. Yung Mary Grace Piatos, how will the prosecution present someone who has no birth, death, or marriage records? Parang someone who does not exist.
Mukhang I'll take it from there muna no, before Attorney Jay responds.
Yes, Kong Zia.
Unang-una, si Mary Grace Piatos is very central figure during our good government investigation. And in fact, her name again popped up during the confirmation hearing of the Committee on Justice. We wanted for the agencies involved in determining the existence of a particular person with this particular name na ma-confirm sa Committee on Justice na meron din talagang totoong Mary Grace Piatos na hindi to fictitious character. This is based on an actual living person. Unfortunately, the PSA came out with the report that there's no record whatsoever na meron Mary Grace Piatos na pinanganak, nagkaroon ng marriage contract or whatever, no? So in the matter of presentation of the articles of impeachment, ang sinasabi po natin katotohanan at pawang katotohanan lamang ang ilalatag natin sa Senado at sa sambayan ng Pilipino. Our contention is that, and confirmed by the PSA, that Mary Grace Piatos does not exist and has no record. And therefore, the logical conclusion that we can derive is that the acknowledgement receipts
Nag-breeze yata.
Oo.
Ginagpang ata si Kong Sia. Kong Sia, hello. Nawala.
Hello?
Si Kong Jay. Okay,
Okay
sir.
na?
Go ahead, sir. Please proceed again.
Yeah. So again, it would be better, lahat ho tayo excited, makilala si Mary Grace Piatos. Dahil parati ho natin ito naririnig for the past for the past year. So let's see kung meron talagang tao na mag-a-appear before the court na ako si Mary Grace Piatos. Excited ho tayong lahat para once and for all mapatunayan po natin na ma-establish itong identity na ito na hindi puros haka-haka na yun naman po talaga yung allegation natin na ang confidential funds ay natanggap ng mga haka-haka at gawa-gawa-gawang pangalan. So,
Sir,
yes. So to go, yes, Ma'am Tina.
sorry sir, ipapaulit ko lang po kasi sana doon sa part na naputol kayo yung sinabi nyo na the fact that the PSA reported that Mary Grace Piatos doesn't exist, so ang logical conclusion ay?
The logical conclusion is that those who received the confidential funds indicated under the confidential funds might probably a made-up character. Now, that's the allegation, and the only way to establish that is to a proper forum, which is being agreed by both sides, and the proper forum is the court. Let the court find out who really is Mary Grace Piatos.
Thank you, Kong. Attorney?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. No? As you've mentioned, no, that's a good point. If she does not exist, why name her as a witness? But that's exactly the point. No, this is the opportunity for her. No, if she actually exists, to come forward and say, "Here I am, presenting myself before the impeachment court, ready to testify." So if she does not appear, this just supports our position that she's a made-up person.
Excited na lahat kasi Ma'am Tina na malaman kung sino talaga si Mary Grace Piatos. No?
Opo, thank you po.
Thank you, Tina. Next is Annalise Soberano from Bombo Radio.
Hello po, good morning.
Annalise?
Hello po, good morning. Kung or kay si Pope, ngayong tapos na po ang pre-trial brief at tuloy na po yung impeachment trial sa July 6. What is the expected schedule for the presentation of evidence and witness testimony? And when can the public expect the first presentation of evidence? Thank
Okay,
you.
so the first day of hearing for the presentation of our first witness, has been scheduled on July 6. No? Tapos ang schedule naman ho ng presentation of evidence would be Monday to Wednesday every week ho yan hanggang bago ho ang SONA. And then after SONA, ang schedule naman ho would be Tuesday to Thursday. No? Now, kung gaano ho to katagal, no, ang paglilitis, during the pre-trial, the prosecution asked for 62 days to present our evidence. And then sa kabilang panig naman ho, sa depensa, humingi sila ng at least 30 days. So kung babasahin natin dito, at least 3 months ho yan or could be more. No? But of course, it will still depend, no, on several circumstances. For example, kung possible ho na we could present more than one witness per day, no? So pwede hong mapabilis.
Okay. Si Kong Zia po, kung meron ka, or I'll push to po sa my next question. Sir, without revealing your legal strategy, what should the public watch for in the next phase in the impeachment trial?
I would like to think that this is very, the interest of the public is exactly what is under trial here, because we're talking about the principle that no one should be above the law. That's in relation to the threat that no one is allowed to take justice into their own hands. That's number 2 is public office is a public trust. So ang tiwala ng taong bayan dapat suklian ng tapat na pagsiserbisyo. Ibabangga po natin yan doon sa unexplained wealth, kung saan napupunta yung mga hindi na papaliwanag na yaman, the way by which an public officer, especially if it's an elected, the trust that has given to her or to him, no, insofar as improving the programs under her department, kung tama ba na ayon din sa mga memorandum, circular ng mga ahensya na binigyang kapangyarihan ng saligang batas para himayin ang panggastos ng taong bayan dahil pera yan ng taong bayan. Ibabangga po natin sa confidential funds yan kasi very clear po ang sinabi ng COA, kailangan ibalik na yan dahil hindi tama at mali ang paggasta ng perang taong bayan sa confidential funds. So ultimately, all in all, this is for the interest of the public dahil pera nila ang pinag-uusapan nila at dapat lang na malaman nila kung saan napunta ang kanilang pera.
Okay. Attorney Tolosa, what legal issues po do you expect to be the most contested during the impeachment trial?
Well, there'll be a lot. No, I think they've already mentioned this. No, that their position is that pre-office conduct, meaning acts and omissions committed before the respondent became a vice president, no, should not be admitted in evidence. So, and we have our position on this. Of course, no, we do not agree to that position. No, since for us, no, pre-office conduct by themselves actually constitute impeachable offenses. No? And I hope you could understand why I can't go to the merits of that. But second, no, even if we will consider for a second that they're not impeachable offenses, but they remain to be relevant. No? Dahil itong mga prior acts or omissions na to, they could establish pattern, they could provide the baseline with respect to the wealth that was accumulated, which continued, no, until dun sa 2022.
Mhm. Thank you, Attorney. Thank you po, Boss Rai.
You're welcome.
Salamat, Annalie. Next is Fred Mendoza from Manila Times.
Hi po, good morning po, Kong C and Tony
Morning,
Tolosa.
Red.
Morning.
Morning po. First off, yun nga po, yung kay Mary Grace Piatos nga po, again, ito sinasabi po ng iba, confidential nga po to. I mean, maybe alias nga po siya, baka isa po siyang informant. Hindi po ba maka-danger po sa taong pangalan ay Mary Grace Piatos sa lumabas po siya kasi yun nga po, I mean, baka nga po lumabas siya, bigla na lang po siyang patay ng mga nagturo sa kanya. Hindi po ba naka-dangerous po yun na ilalabas po si Mary Grace Piatos out in the open and baka siya naman po yung maging target ng mga pinuro niya?
In the interest of transparency and accountability, it will not be a danger to this government to strengthen that. No? Ang ginagawa po natin is to strengthen yung transparency and accountability of public officials. And that will not endanger anybody. No? Number two, if you're talking about personal security of these perceived to be recipients of the confidential funds, let's go back to the good government hearing. It was the AFP who said and denied that there was indeed distribution of confidential funds that the AFP actually involved in. Sinabi ho nila, and they deny that there's no such program that we have actually implemented in partnership of the Office of the Vice President insofar as these particular confidential funds were used. So thirdly, yes, assuming, for example, and I'm not confirming the fact that this is true, but assuming without conceding that these are all code names. Hindi mo po pwedeng i-code name lang kay COA. Kasi doon po sa joint circular, even if code name yan for the purpose of security of either purchase of information or reward, kailangan at naka-attach na envelope dyan na si Batman, ang tunay niyang pangalan ay ito. For the purpose of auditing the funds that have been used for the purchase of information or reward to an informant. So kaya nga sinabi po ni COA na teka lang, hindi lang puros acknowledgement receipt kayo. In fact, very clear po sa joint circular na bago yung acknowledgement receipt, halimbawa lang, ay dapat may nakalakip dyan na attachment na nakasobre na yung custody ng sobre na yan dapat classified at diretso binibigay yan sa ICFAO. So in the interest of public in the interest of yung publiko, I don't see any reason why this will strengthen the democratic processes na ini-establish po ng ating proseso, no? Kasi ang sinasabi po natin dito ay ang pagpapalakas sa gobyerno ay isa po sa mga prinsipyo ng transparency at accountability ng isang opisyal.
Attorney, may dadagdag po kayo?
No, I think that was properly addressed already by Kongzi.
Yeah. Ano lang, if ever man kunyari, lumapit po sa inyo yung nagkilalang Mary Grace Piatos and sinabi niya, katatakot po ako, I'm threatened po for my life, would you give that person security? Kong, Adjong?
Red, aren't you Red, as a taxpayer, I'll ask you this, not just na journalist, as a taxpayer, aren't you also intrigued kung sino si Mary Grace Piatos? Ayaw mo ba siyang malaman?
Well,
Hindi mo ba ayaw mo siyang makilala? No? Gusto natin kasi ma-establish yung kanyang identity na ito lang sa paraan na naayon sa saligang batas at sa due process. No? So, sa amin lang pong palagay, kung kami pong tatanungin nyo, wala ho talagang Mary Grace Piatos. Yun naman po yung allegation natin, wala hong Mary Grace Piatos. Now, if they can provide, I think the defense is in best position to provide that person with that kind of name, no? Para once and for all, itong allegation na itong pangalan na Mary Grace Piatos ay sa aming palagay sa prosecution panel ay gawa-gawa lamang, haka-haka. The only way for us to establish whether this person really do exist, despite the fact that the PSA also came out with a report that there's no such person with that name existing, is the court. I think all of us, no, even you, Red, I don't know how you would approach this, but even you deserve to know who is Mary Grace Piatos because you've been paying your taxes. And the confidential funds is actually the tax na binabayaran ng ating taong bayan.
Okay, noted po yun. Last na lang po, doon sa sheriff na ipapatawag po as witness po. I mean, of course, the incident happened in 2011. Hindi po ba parang medyo ano na po to, far-reaching na po to na why would the prosecution invite the sheriff na sinapak ni Vice President Sara Duterte? Ano po ba maging may iambag niya sa case ng Vice President? I mean, do you intend to present the witness as a character witness?
Without going too much into the strategy, into the merits, and to the weight of the evidence, but let me clarify that under the rules, it is allowed to present evidence to establish behavioral pattern, to establish propensity of a person to resort to violence, for example. So these are all allowed under the rules. But I'm sure you would understand why at this point we can't disclose the particular reasons why we will be presenting this witness.
Red,
Okay po, thank you po.
actions, magdadagdag ko lang, Red, no? Actions and words, yung sabi ni Attorney Jay, actions and words are very apparent insofar as the Vice President is concerned. No, when she's angry, she gets too volatile. Nakita natin not only the way by which she threatened the sitting president and the First Lady and the former Speaker, but the way that she acted on certain issues that she thinks undermines her authority ay doon po sa issue nung sa sheriff na yon, nakita natin na sinuntok niya. No? It also speaks about, Red, it also speaks about the attitude that she is, yung impunity, the culture of impunity that we would try to address. No? And hindi dapat mangyari na ang bawat halal na opisyal ay dahil may certain privilege or may certain authority binigay sa iyo, ay po pwede mo nang umaksyon sa bagay na hindi naayon sa iyong ayon sa inyong tanggapan. So we actually see the attitude, no, that kumbaga yung culture, yung impunity, yung I am beyond reproach, I am beyond the law. No, ibabangga po natin 'yon sa prinsipyo na no one should be above the law. No one should have the right to take justice into their own hands. At nakikita naman po natin by the way she skips invitation, harapin yung mga pandinig na sa Kongreso, at may pattern talaga yung action niya na parang attitude is impunity, and she should not be subject to legal policies or regulation na naayon sa opisinang kanyang nire-representa.
Okay po.
Okay.
Thank you po, Kong CI.
Thank you,
I
Red.
think babalikan ko lang yung Red, no, ethical standard. May batas na po tayo dyan, and Attorney J. Tolosa can actually expound on this. Meron talaga tayong expected na ethical standard sa lahat ng government employees. At the very least, kung may violation doon, that's already a betrayal of public trust. Dahil hinalal ka dyan ng tiwala ng taong bayan na hindi mo lang pagsisirbisyuhan ang taong bayang tapat, pero you also resemble the office, the standard by which you are expected to do so.
Thank you. Bernard Taguinod from Abante. Bernard?
Yes, sir. Excited ako makilala si Mary Grace Piatas. Anyway, tanong ko sa inyong dalawa, paano pag hindi dumating yung mga hostile witness tulad nila Zolaika Lopez, yung mga colonels, anong parusa sa kanila?
Well, that's up to the impeachment court. No, of course, the impeachment court has the power to enforce its compulsory processes, no, such as subpoenas. No, so it's up for the impeachment court if it will compel its attendance. But in that case, even if they will not be presented, we'll still have other evidence to prove the articles of impeachment.
Kong Sia?
Ibalik po yung tanong, pasensya na. Parang nag-lag eh.
Paano pag, yung tanong ko rin kanina, paano pag hindi dumating? Anong gagawin ng prosecution? Baka maging way yun ng paghina ng kaso niya.
Well, unang-una, we don't, sabi nga ni Attorney Jay, this is something that is already in, mga contingency in what might happen. These are part of the discussion in the realm of possibility, which I believe the House prosecution team would be conscious about, and the House prosecution team will respond to the actual occurrences during the trial. So let's see kung ano pong mangyayari sa actual na trial na yan. But definitely, the House prosecution team, sinasabi po natin, ready naman po tayo sa ating mga ebidensya, ang pagpapresenta po ng mga testimony ng mga witnesses. That would also include the possible occurrences or events that might happen during the actual trial. So this is part of the possibility in contingency plan. Ready na po ang House prosecution team to deal with whatever eventualities that might happen in the actual trial.
Follow up lang, yung meron bang power ang impeachment court to contempt kung hindi
Yes.
darating sa mga to?
Yes. Otherwise, no, the power to issue subpoena will have no teeth, will have no meaning. So yes, the impeachment court has the power to compel people to attend them and to cite them in contempt if they continue to refuse to heed such directive.
So pwede silang kakalad ka rin. Aarestuhin and kalad ka rin doon sa impeachment court.
Sana hindi umabot doon sa kaladkaran.
Tama.
Yes, sir. Pwede silang
Pwede hong i-compel na mag-attend sila, no? Otherwise, magiging walang visa ang power to issue subpoena.
Actually, yun po yung purpose ng subpoena yun eh. Yung just to explain it to more layman term, no. Yun po yung hindi naman kaladkarin, no. Yung kinakailangan na makapunta sila doon sa korte. I think that's the very purpose of a subpoena, no.
one more thing, balik tayo kay Mary Grace Piatas. So, inilista niyo siya as a witness. Ano yun? Yung sumulat ng Mary Grace Piatas siya yun? Or...
before kay Attorney Jay, yon yung pinipresenta nila na itong pumirma na ito na si Mary Grace Piatos, sabihin pa natin na code name ito, siya mismo din yung pumirma nung acknowledgement receipt na yon. So dalawa po yon, pangalan at pirma at petsa at lugar, no? So ang sinabi po ng NBI, kung babalikan po natin yung confirmation hearings, nagkaroon po kasi ng sampling ng mga acknowledgement receipts. So, tinest po ito ng forensic experts yung specimen signatures doon sa acknowledgement receipts. And they derived into a conclusion na mukhang ang pumirma nitong mga acknowledgement receipts ay iisang tao. So, andun yung issue ng tunay ba si Mary Grace Piatos Pangalawa, kung tunay ba siya ba talaga yung pumirma ng acknowledgement na yan? Pangatlo, yung halimbawa lang, kasi dudugtong ko na, hindi lang actually si Mary Grace Piatos. Si Mary Grace Piatos ay lead actress. May lead actor din, si Kokoy Villamin. Si Kokoy Villamin sa confidential funds ay nakatanggap po siya na acknowledgement receipt sa opisina ng Vice President, pati na rin sa Department of Education. Nakita po natin si Kokoy Villamin ay tumanggap ng acknowledgement receipts, pero yung kanyang pirma ay magkaiba. Pareho po yung petsa at yung pangalan, pero magkaiba yung kanyang pirma. Ang tanong, may tunay ba yung Kokoy Villamin? Kung tunay ba, nakatanggap pa siya ng confidential funds sa magkaibang lugar? Pangalawa, pangatlong tanong ay sa kanya ba itong mga pirma na ito? Bakit hindi magkatugma yung pirma niya doon sa confidential funds na tinanggap niya di umano sa opisina ng Vice President at yung tinanggap niyang confidential funds doon sa opisina ng Department of Education?
So kilala nyo na sila, kilala nyo na yung mga nagsulat, mga gumawa ng acknowledgement receipt.
Yung kilala po namin sila as far as yung pangalan nila na nakasulat sa confidential funds. Kaya nga po gusto natin ang taong bayan at ang korte na malaman kung tunay itong taong ito, si Mary Grace Piatos at si Kokoy Villamin. Kung tama ba na mayroong ganong klaseng tao na nagngangalan. Kung sabi naman nilang codename, okay, codename, pero asan po yung mga attachment para ang ICFAO, ang COA, ay malaman nila at masuri nila na itong codename na ito ay ito ang tunay niyang pangalan at tama yung paggasta ng confidential funds. As far as we are concerned, we know the person to be Kokoy Villamin. But as to his real identity, which debunked by the experts report from NBI and from PSA, na walang tao with the name of Mary Grace Piatos and probably with that of Kokoy Villamin.
Last for me, nakalagay dun sa trial brief nyo, meron kayong mga reserve witness eh. Ang nakalagay dun sa mga reserve witness nyo, yung mga tumanggap, pero wala namang nailagay sa, meron silang pangalan sa acknowledgement receipt, pero hindi sila nakatanggap ng funds. So, kilala nyo na kung sino yung mga yon at reserve witness nyo lang. Meron ba kami, bigyan nyo naman kami ng konting idea tungkol din.
Yun ho yung one of the actual reasons why you're allowed to have reserved witnesses, no? The rules allow na if during pre-trial, no, you have not yet identified the identity of these people, then you consider them as reserved witnesses, no? Dahil hindi nyo pa mailagay yung saktong pagkakakilanlan niya.
Surprise na yan. Yan yung mga tinatawag na surprise?
Hindi ho surprise, reserved witness. No? Kasi kung surprise, ibig sabihin talagang magkakagulatan yan. But hindi ho yan magiging surprise dahil before we present them in court, no, bibigyan naman ho ng proper notice, both the court and the other party. So, i-disclose na ho yung identity niyan doon sa other party within a reasonable period before that witness is actually presented in court. So, wala pa rin naman hong surprise dyan.
Dadagdag ko lang, I think si Attorney Jay, yung sinasabi niyang na yung sa notice kasi na unang ni-release ng Senado po, no, ng korte. I think the 3 days prior to the presentation of this witness, meron pong reserved witness, even the testimony in documents. Kasi ibig sabihin, kung hindi po available nung oras na yon, ipapaalam na sa korte na itong dokumento, itong witness, may papresenta namin, no? But 3 days prior to the actual presentation of the documents and the testimonial evidence, including the evidence itself. So ganun po yung magiging according to the notice coming from the Senate Impeachment Court.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard. We will now call on Rosa Licas from UNTV. Rose, you're recognized.
Hello po. Good morning po, everyone.
Good
UNTV po, Rosa
morning.
Licos. Opo. Una pong article na isasalang po ng prosecution pag nag-umpisa na po yung paglilitis, yun pong grave threats and inciting to sedition. And according po sa inyo pong pre-trial brief, nandito po yung Philippine National Police Firearms and Explosive Office representatives sa hanay po ng witnesses po na ipepresent. Gaano po ka-crucial yung kanila pong testimony?
Um, ano po yung ano? So, of course, yung ano po yung tanong sa sorry, naglalag po. Sorry, Rose. Ano po yung tanong? Uli? Pakiulit.
Opo, kabilang po sa witnesses po ng prosecution para po sa grave threats and inciting to sedition, yun pong Philippine National Police Firearms and Explosives Office representative. Gaano po ka-crucial yung kanilang magiging testimony?
Yes, Jay, would you like to that's a detailed
Yes. Yeah. Without going too much, into the weight of the evidence, purpose of the evidence, etc. But this could establish, among other, the capability to carry out threats, diba? So, but for now, hope you'll understand that that's the extent that I could reveal.
Capability to
Carry out threats, because threats have been made. So that would be material on that point.
may relasyon po ba ito dun po sa mga firearms na pagmamay-ari po ng pangalawang pangulo?
Let's wait and see. We will show the details during trial.
All right. Most of the witnesses po kasi na listed po dito po sa pre-trial brief ay naipresenta na po sa House Justice Committee. And ang bago po para sa amin ay yun nga pong si Sheriff Abe Andres. Maituturing po ba siyang star witness?
Not really a star witness, but a material one.
Okay po. And then po sa reserve witness nyo naman po, dito rin po sa article na grave.
If I could just add to that, specifically with regards to the grave threats, we don't need any star witness here, to be quite frank, because ang witness na ho dito siguro is mismo ang respondent na ho, if you could put it in simple terms, dahil kitang-kita naman ho dun sa mga video footages which was made publicly available, yung subject utterances niya. So hindi na ho namin kailangan magpresenta pa ng ibang witness to prove those matters.
Clarification lang po. So you're regarding the Vice President as star witness against herself?
Not really, but just to drive home the point that we don't need any other witness to prove that those utterances were made. Kasi clear na yan, nandyan na yan dun sa mga widely circulated videos ho niya, and even in her subsequent press conferences, she also did not deny and in fact confirmed having made those statements.
Rose, dadagdag ko, you're asking about the star witness. The star witness is ang sambayan ng Pilipino. We all heard the Vice President made these threats. We all watched how the Vice President was really angry when she was uttering these threats for all of us to see. So we are all witness to this. Collaborated by the official report of NBI that this video was not doctored or manufactured. It was the Vice President herself saying these utterances and seriously making these utterances because she described it as no joke, no joke.
All right, thank you po. Sir, regarding naman po dito sa reserve witness nyo pa rin po sa grave threats and inciting to sedition, you're seeking or you're planning to present a family or family member of a victim of threats. So are you eyeing to present a relative or family member of the President, the First Lady, or the former House Speaker?
Yeah, I hope you understand again that we can't disclose that information at this point. So let's wait for the trial for that to unfold.
Ms. Rose, what we can guarantee to you is that all the witnesses that we will present will be important and their testimony testimonies are indispensable in trying to prove the allegations as contained in the articles of impeachment.
Alright, last on my part na lang po. Following po ng conclusion ng pre-trial conference and we're waiting for the pre-trial brief po ng Senate Impeachment Court, meron na po ba kayong anticipated na magiging takbo ng trial given that during the pre-trial conference, the defense panel objected the opening of the sealed BIR box. They objected it to be marked.
Yes.
Thank you, I thank you.
Attorney Jay?
Ian.
No, I am hearing someone else talking. Hello?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes po, sorry. Following po ng conclusion ng pre-trial conference for the impeachment trial, more or less meron na po ba kayong anticipated na magiging takbo ng trial pag nag-umpisa na po sa July 6, especially that the defense panel have objected to mark the BIR box or open the sealed box. They also did not agree with common marking and will block the presentation of evidence na related ng hindi pa po Vice President si VP Duterte.
Yeah, so this strategy is consistent with what they've done starting from the proceedings before the House of Representatives and even when they filed their answer to the articles of impeachment. Everyone has noted that their main defense is really to raise procedural arguments and technicalities. So we've anticipated that this is exactly what they're going to do during pre-trial, and even during the trial itself, they'll try to block the presentation of witnesses or documents. But we're prepared to argue against that.
All right, maraming salamat po, sirs.
Thank you, Rose. Next is Marian Enriquez from TVN.
Good morning po,
Morning.
sir.
Or
Regarding lang po dun sa grave threats, sundutin ko lang po ulit yun sa tanong ni Ate Rose. You also listed po as witnesses dito po sa article na to, some journalists and a psychiatrist. Kindly elaborate lang po yung kanilang significance dito, kanilang testimonya po sa trial.
again, without going too much to the details, it's possible, for example, to present journalists who have personally witnessed some of the utterances, which we will highlight to the public because they're relevant to this articles of impeachment. So, and the psychiatrist could also be presented to show the seriousness of the threats, if it appeared that the person making them these utterances meant them and they were not meant in jest. So, but again, that's the extent that I could disclose at this point.
Dadagdagan ko lang, I think it's also a way to strengthen what the NBI, according to their investigation, has reported that this is not a doctored video. It is not a manufactured video. So having those present during the press briefing or the Zoom meeting or whatever you can call it, the Vice President made these utterances. Those real persons, journalists, can in fact be important, their testimony, in also strengthening the report of the NBI that this is not doctored or manufactured.
Thank you po. Regarding naman po doon sa article ng Unexplained Wealth, I just noticed po, hindi po kasama doon sa listahan po ng inyong mga testigo, si Attorney Man Scarpio, yung asawa po ni VP Sara. Hindi po ba importante rin na makuha yung kanyang testimonya?
Well, it's up for the defense, if they want to present him as their own witness to counter the allegations and the evidence that we will present. But what is important here is we'll be able to establish by presenting relevant documents, the AMLAC reports, the SAL-ends, and bank records, and hopefully the BIR ITRs as well, to prove the allegation that the assets and liabilities and total net worth of the respondent and her spouse, which were disclosed in her SAL-ends, this do not match, her actual wealth and net worth.
Kung
So
Zia, right,
there's no
right.
need there's insofar as we're concerned, there's no need for the husband to testify, because these matters would be established by the documents that we'll be presenting.
Yes, Marian, you want me to comment?
Do you think hindi kailangan din ba or okay na yun?
Well, I personally trust and confident with how the House prosecution would be able to present the articles of impeachment, and I believe in the judgment of the House prosecution team kung sino po ang nakalagay diyan ng mga witnesses, ano po yung nakalagay diyan ng mga testimonial evidence, material evidence, ay naayon sa pagpapresenta ng case sa korte na hindi lang ma-prove na tama yung allegation pero magiging mas madali intindihin ng ating taong bayan. So whoever is listed there as the witness of the prosecution, I'm confident that they can actually deliver to the court what really are the evidence and that would be corroborated by witnesses for not only for the Senate to arrive into sound judgment but for the clarity of the Filipino people.
Last na lang, sir, you mentioned Kong Zia and Kong J, Attorney J. Yung defense po regarding dun sa BIR box, they do not have the right to object to it. Even yung marking nga po nung box na inobject nila, no? And Kong Zia, sinabi mo kanina, takot sila sa pagbubukas ng box na ito. Even Chair Luistro said that yesterday. Ano bang meron sa box na to? Bakit takot silang ilabas to? Ano ba sa tingin niyo, sir, gaano kabigat yung makikita natin dito sa box na to? Kasi bigat din ba ng mga nakita natin ng AMLAC records, ng mga bank transactions ni VP Sara at ng kanyang asawa?
I'll go first before Attorney J could explain. One, there's no other way to describe the reaction than takot. No? Ayaw nilang makita. Sabi ko nga, half-baked yung gusto nilang pag-usapan sa korte. What we want for the court to appreciate is the entire financial picture insofar as the declared assets, declared liabilities, and the declared lawful income of the Vice President and her spouse. Kasi by virtue of their union, talagang they're considered legally as one entity. Pangalawa, tanong mo, ano ba talagang kinakatakutan dito? Siyempre, hindi po magsisinungaling ang dokumento. Makikita po natin yung kanilang binabayaran ng mga taxes. No? Kung ano po yung pag-aari nilang mga yaman at ano po yung mga kanilang mga liabilities sila. So hindi po magsisinungaling ang taxes. Ang tanong ng taong bayan, takot ba tayo sa katotohanan? Kung ang sinasabi po ng ITRs na ito ay ang pawang katotohanan at katotohanan lamang. At yun naman ang gusto ng prosecution. May lahat sa taong bayan ang katotohanan at pawang katotohanan lamang. Mukhang ang reservation nila or ang pag-object nila ay tama yung ating obserbasyon na takot sila sa katotohanan. So yun lang po ang observation natin at there's no other way again to describe it but kinakatakutan nila tong box kasi nga mukhang hindi lang ito smoking gun, mukhang arsenal na ito ng armory na ayaw nilang mailahad sa buong taong bayan.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Jay, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. So just to add to that, to address the question as well of what are the contents of this box. So again, pursuant to the subpoena issued to them by the House Committee on Justice, this should contain the ITRs of the respondent and her spouse. So dito ho malalahad kung ano yung declared income nila. No? So this is material because we will have to take this together with their SALNs to see if the declared income matches the the assets, liabilities, and net worth indicated in the SALNs. And their position is there's a discrepancy. And even just for that, the declared income do not meet the net worth indicated in the SALNs. Iba pa ho to dun sa usapin na in fact yung what the wealth that they've actually accumulated is way more than what's disclosed in the SALN, no? Because as shown in the proceedings before the Committee on Justice, no, there are billions of transactions, no, involved in the bank records of the spouses.
Idadagdag ko lang Marian doon sa sinabi ni Attorney Gino. Remember, if we go back to the confirmation hearing, it was actually AMLA that says that some of the income, no, the deposits in the banks are considered to be suspicious transaction. So, babantayin po natin, ibabangga po natin ito doon sa mga dokumentong maipapresenta po dyan sa trial na yan, including also the box that were initially, voted by the Committee on Justice not to open it. So, yun po yung ating babantayan doon na mukhang babalikan ko po yung tanong at yung sinabi ko kanina, mukhang ginagawa ng lahat ng paraan para hindi mabuksan ng korte. Nang ayon sa depensa. Ayon po sa pag-object ng depensa.
Sir, last na lang, another, just to follow up on that. May possibility ba na kaya may fear na open yung box is because baka madali rin siya sa tax evasion, hindi lang si VP, pati yung asawa niya, si Man Scarpio?
Again, let's focus on how the House prosecution would present the evidence as contained under the articles of impeachment. Again, we do not want, what we want is actually to show to the public and to the Senate that these are the evidence that can actually corroborate the allegations as contained under the articles of impeachment. So we are not actually hitting a particular person. We're actually on the principle of transparency and accountability. It's just so happened that the Vice President was the one who's facing these charges. The one that is actually talking here is the Constitution, applying the principle of accountability mechanism of the Constitution, regardless who is being charged with the allegations. So we are not actually trying to focus on particular person. We are trying to drive at the allegations that have been presented as contained in the articles of impeachment with the evidence that we can actually provide. So let's see kung ano po yung magiging takbo ng prosecution ng actual trial. But what we can tell you again is that going back to the proposed witness under the list that we have presented to the court, lahat po ng mga witnesses na nandyan ay ito po yung kanilang testimonya na indispensable para doon sa pagpo-prove na itong mga akusasyon na ito na labag sa konstitusyon ng Vice Presidente ay tama dahil ito po yung testimonya at ito po yung mga ebidensyang may papresenta natin sa korte.
If I could just quickly add to that, I can't blame anyone for having such an observation, but insofar as the prosecution is concerned, as mentioned by Congressman Zia, our focus is to use this evidence to prove the articles of impeachment, particularly the charge that the respondent accumulated unexplained wealth, which is grossly disproportionate to the assets and the net worth that she declared in her SALN.
Right. Thank you very much po. Salamat po, Attorney J. Kong Zia.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Maria.
sir.
Next is Jenesca Panti from GMA Online. Jenesca?
Sir, sir, question ko lang po, meron po bang sinabing dahilan yung results? Bakit ayaw or i-mark the BIR box? Meron po ba silang sinabing
Meron ba ito?
Sinabing reason for objecting to it? Is that the question? Sorry, can you repeat it? Medyo mahina ho yung reception. I can't quite hear it.
Mukhang ganun.
Jenesca?
ano po yung sinabi nilang dahilan kung bakit yung BIR box? Sinabi ko sila, it's on, it is when it was happening, it's a trial.
Okay. Medyo malabo ho, no? I don't know if it's just on my side, pero from what I heard, mukhang ang question is, meron ba silang reason, no, na binanggit why they didn't want the box to be marked, no? So ang reason that they stated there is it's a violation of due process, no? But this was addressed by the prosecutors, no? Congressman Luistro and Congresswoman Luistro and Congressman Shell, no, they pointed out there's no violation of due process rights here. Again, no, kahapon we were not even asking that these documents be admitted in evidence, no? Hindi pa namin to pinapatanggap as ebidensya, no? Ang gusto lang ho namin gawin, since part ho ng pre-trial ay marking of evidence by both parties, no? Pagmamarka pa lang ho, no? Yun lang ho ang gusto namin gawin. Let's just mark it. So even just the box itself, no? Kahit ipagpapaliban muna ang pagbukas kung yan ang magiging desisyon ng clerk of court, kahit yung box muna, markahan na natin, even that they objected to it.
Sir, given yung situation sa BIR box, hindi ba makaka-affect in the event na hindi payagan or i-present ito before the Senate institution report? Di ba makaka-affect yun sa impeachment case yung kay Vice President? Dahil hindi na yung kaso nyo, or the case will stand with or without the pre-trial document?
Okay, well, first of all, we don't want to preempt the action that may be taken by the impeachment court about this. To be clear, they did not yet deny, no, the motion to open the box. It just didn't happen yesterday, no, but it does not matter. This does not mean that they will not allow its opening, no. So we will address that issue once it becomes apparent already, meaning when they've acted on it. So we will wait for the impeachment court's action on it.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Linesca. Asaya Mirapuentes from Abante Billionario.
Hello, Kong. Good morning. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon, Isaiah.
Apo. Just one question lang, Kong, just regards with the reserve witnesses dun po sa may Article 4, yung grave threats. Upon checking here po, meron pong isa po sa mga reserve nyo po ay psychiatrist. Does it mean, Kong, medyo questionable po this time yung mental state or I mean, if ever masasabi ba natin na may mental challenge si Vice President Sara Duterte, that's why nabitawan niya po yung mga salita na sinabi niya po dun sa video.
Jay, you want to go first?
So can you please repeat the question? I didn't quite get it, please.
I'm sorry. Regarding, sir, dun sa may isa sa mga reserve witnesses ng Article 4, upon checking here, kasama po ay isang psychiatrist. Does it mean, sir, na isa po sa tinitingnan natin na anggulo, kaya po nasabi ni Vice President Sara Duterte na ipapapatay po niya ang first couple and even the former House Speaker is because merong mental challenge or issue about the mental state of the Vice President?
Again, as I mentioned a while ago when this same question was asked, we cannot yet go into the details about the exact testimonies, no, that our witnesses will give. But what I can say is that this witness will be relevant in establishing the charges, no. So particularly here, the charge concerning grave threats. So it could establish a lot of things. Among other things will be the seriousness of the threats, no, the fact that when it was made, it was not made in jest, no, that you could see from the words used, the actuation and everything, and what was done during and after, or even before, or consistent with the position that the threat was seriously made, no, and there was very intention to produce that intended effect, no, which is to threaten the recipients of this statements.
Just to add to that explanation ni Attorney Jay, the psychiatrist would be objective in trying to respond to the question of either the defense and the prosecution. We can establish an expert analysis as to the seriousness, to establish nga, sabi nga ni Attorney Jay, the seriousness. Nobody can actually be able to establish seriousness of these threats, other than, I guess, someone who has the expertise to objectively assess the occurrences. Kung ibang malalagay dyan, alam natin baka maging partisan. Ito ang magiging possible na kanyang magiging testimonya ay doon lang sa sinasabi ni Attorney Jay na serious ba itong allegation na ito? I mean, itong occurrences na ito. So it's an expert view on an assessment on whether these threats are made with seriousness. So I think the expert analysis, someone who is objective and non-partisan, is the right witness to establish to the court that yes, indeed, these allegations and these threats are made with seriousness.
Kung habol ko na rin, if ever I'm just curious, sabihin ng psychiatrist na merong mental issue, mental challenge itong si VP Sara, ano pong possible na mangyari doon sa magiging resulta ng impeachment?
I'll take this one, Jay. I'll take this one. First, we don't preempt again. We will not predict what would be the exchanges, the questions of the House prosecution panel, and also the cross examination of the defense in the event that the psychiatrist will be presented before the court. So again, let's go back to the explanation of Attorney Jay Tolosa, that part of the presentation of the House prosecution team as far as the threat is concerned is to establish the seriousness. Kasi the defense is saying that this is kumbaga parang hindi naman to talagang threat eh. Yung iba sabi nila it's a figures of speech. Narinig natin yan sa kanila as their form of defense. Ang iba naman sabi nila hindi naman talaga ito threat kasi conditional threat eh. So ibig sabihin the defense is saying that these are made in probably in jest or because of yung spur of the moment, etc. So the only way for the public to know that these threats are made in seriousness, with clarity and with seriousness, is for an expert to observe and assess the utterances of threats against the president, the First Lady, and the former Speaker. Yun lang po. That's the only purpose for the defense to include, for the prosecution panel to include a expert on the subject matter when it comes to the seriousness of the threats made by the Vice President against three personalities.
All right. Thank you, Kong. Thank you, Attorney.
Thank you, Saya. Next is Judea Bernardo from DATV. Judea?
Hello po. Good afternoon po. Hello po, Kong and Attorney. Follow-up lang naman po yung akin. 2 points lang po. One of which is, can you help us understand po in legal terms, possible po ba magkaroon ng conflict of interest? Kasi nakita rin po natin si Attorney Michael Poa na nandun po sa list of witnesses and he's also part of the defense team.
Hindi naman ang itatanong naman sa kanya dyan would be factual matters. So, and I think he also stated in one of his interviews that he doesn't see any problem about that.
Last na lang po doon.
Dadagdagan ko lang yung Judea. Remember si Attorney Michael Poa, kasama po siya doon sa na-invite you the confirmation hearings. The confirmation hearings, babalikan po natin, Ito po yung mga complaints ng Sabalia Cabrera, and part of the complaints doon sa artikulo is yung bribery. So kasama po siya doon na mga possible na mga witnesses para po doon sa artikulo na yon. So alam naman po niya from the very start.
Can we ask na lang po an update po dun sa threshold po? Isn't it advisable po ba na may agreed upon threshold na po tayo for the photo po of conviction and acquittal of VP before the trial proceeds po?
Well, just to clarify, when you say agreed upon, this matter cannot be agreed upon by the parties. No? Second, for us in the prosecution, our focus here is to present a compelling case, backed by overwhelming evidence, so that regardless of how it will be interpreted, yung 2/3 threshold na yan, we will be able to secure the 2/3 vote. Now, we will respect the impeachment court's action on this. We will wait for it, and then when the impeachment court deems it to be appropriate to address it, then we will be prepared to advance our positions on this matter.
That's all for me po. Thank you po, Attorney.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judea. We will now recognize Willie Delgado from PRTV. Willie Delgado Jr.
Good afternoon,
Willie?
Kong Sia. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Attorney Jay.
Afternoon, Willie.
Kung hindi po talaga mabubuksan yung BIR box, tatayo pa rin ho ba yung issue ng unexplained wealth? I understand kasi kinakailangan ng history nung takbo nung mga finances ni Vice President Sara.
So the case of the prosecution with respect to this article is not hinged exclusively on the contents of the BIR box. We have a lot of other evidences to present, such as the AMLAC reports, bank documents, but still, to see a complete picture, because this would show the declared income of the respondent and her spouse. Why declared income? Ito lang dahil as we know, dito sa ITR, dito ho natin rini-report sa gobyerno ano ho ang mga lawful income natin. So it's still very crucial. That's why we're adamant, insisting that the box be opened, and that this become available to both parties actually. Since after all, again, both parties have identified these BIR submissions to be their reserved documentary exhibits.
Willie, dadagdagan ko yung sinabi ni beyond the appreciation of the court, beyond the presentation of evidence, I think it is a matter of right of the people to know and understand the whole picture. Karapatan po ng taong bayan na malaman nila, without any stone unturned, ang katotohanan at pawang katotohanan lamang. Because that's what the House prosecution believes. This is the Constitution speaking. This is the workings of the accountability mechanism of the Constitution. So it is but right and prudent that we allow the people to see the whole picture and appreciate the whole picture. Yung financial standing po ng ating Vice Presidente. Dahil sinasubmit naman po nila ito regularly sa BIR. So beyond legal appreciation, I think it's right that the people would also know exactly and the whole picture, ano ba yung nilalaman ng box na yan at ano ba yung pwede niyang ma-explain sa taong bayan tungkol sa SALE na dineclare na asset, dineclare na liability at dineclare na lawful income ng Vice Presidente at ang kanyang may bahay.
Alright. May nakikita ba kayong malaking kahinaan ng kaso na against BP na inaasahan yung maaaring puntiryahin ng depensa?
Wala. We believe that the articles of impeachment will be sufficiently established by all of the evidence that we have.
Well, really very clear naman the purpose of the purpose of the defense is to defend the respondent. So we anticipate and continuously anticipate that any evidence that the House prosecution will provide to the court will be contested by the defense. But it's ang katotohanan maski ang gaano mo pa yan takpan ay on its own, it will stand on its own. Truth will always prevail, no matter the trappings and the lies that you want to cover it. Yun po ang paninindigan ng House Prosecution Team. Ito po ay katotohanan at pawang katotohanan lamang na i-explain at siliwalat po namin sa publiko.
Alright. Kaya Attorney Jay, medyo nabitin tayo nung interview ko makalawa sa ATM, Attorney Jay. Medyo kinapos kasi tayo ng oras. Yung naging tanong ko noon, yung anong pagkakaiba ng impeachment ngayon versus sa impeachment ni President Erap before, na pwede yung presentation ng surprise witness gaya nitong sino ba yung bank executive, si Clarissa Ocampo. Understand ko kung wala po yatang ganun ngayon. Paano po yun?
Okay. Sige, to clarify ho, again, as a general rule, parties are required to already identify all of their evidence. So both to documentary and testimonial evidence. They have to be identified during pre-trial. Yan ho ang general rule dyan. Now, that rule admits certain exemptions, which is even if that evidence or that witness was not identified during pre-trial, pwede pa rin ho yung payagan na ang pag-present niyan during the trial itself, no? But it has to be justified. So under the rules, pwede ho yan. Kung for example, during pre-trial, the person was not reasonably known or available to the party, no? So yun ho ang test yan. They should not have been reasonably known or available. So kung naging negligent ka lang, no, but that document was already available to you, but you were just negligent, that's why you were not able to market, hindi ho yan papayagan. So kailangan ma-justify. But to our view, it's still not proper to call it as we don't want to call it a surprise evidence, no, dahil as pointed out by Kong Zia a while ago, no, hindi naman yan completely surprise, no, dahil 3 days as required under the rules before that is presented in court, you have to give advance notice. So magkakaroon pa rin naman hong chance yung other party na malaman ito and prepare for it before it's presented in court.
Okay. Kong Zia,
Yes, sir.
Paano babalansehin yung mga legal issues versus sa mga matitinding public opinion ng public? Kasi sa pinaka-latest survey, 19% lang, di ba? Yun na pag-usapan natin. 19% lang ng mga Pilipino believe na yung boto o yung botohan sa Senado hindi mukhang malayo magbase sa evidence-based yung kanilang magiging boto.
Well, unang-una, itong mga surveys na ito, kaya parati ho natin sinasabi, let's proceed with the trial, let's give clarity to the people, and let's end this process kasi naumpisa na po yan. I think the more na nadidelay po yung proseso, talagang nagkakaroon po ng individual na opinion. What is important, opinion ng ating taong bayan. What is important is the people is now engaged. They want to proceed with the trial. They want to see the evidence that would be presented by both sides. And I think it's not only that they want to witness, but it is also their right to see and open up all these allegations in an actual trial. So ang para sa akin, how do we balance it? Let's proceed with the actual trial. Dahil habang wala pa pong trial, talagang hindi mo maiiwasan ang ating taong bayan. Magkakaroon ng haka-haka. Kaya nga po in-establish natin itong proseso na ito para yung haka-haka ay mapunta sa actual na pangyayari.
Alright, one last point. I understand may kanya-kanya na pong assigned article yung mga House prosecutors. Ganon din ho ba? May kanya-kanya na ring assignment na ibinigay sa sa mga private prosecutors, attorney?
Tama ho yan, no? But it's a continuing process. So, of course, some adjustments may have to be made, no, during the trial itself, but that is correct, no. So syempre ongoing ho yung preparation natin. So that has to be done, no, para mas organized ho ang ating pagprepara at paghawak ng kaso.
Okay. Thank you po, Attorney Jay. Kong Zia, thank you.
Thank you, Sir
Thank you
Willie.
as well.
Thank you, Willie. Okay. Magbabalik po si Red Mendoza para sa ating last question. Red Mendoza from Manila Times.
Ay po kung
Ano
sorry,
to, Red?
follow
Is the best for
up lang. Yung sinasabi niyo po doon sa trial brief na po na you're going to invite the journalists who were at the press conference of the Vice President nung in-utter niyo yung mga words na yon. Now, hindi po ba medyo ano yun? Would it create consternation among the media outfits na iimbitahan yung mga journalists, they're just doing their jobs as reporters. Are they ano po ba? Will they be mandated to attend doon to be witnesses at the hearing po ba, or would they be allowed na umayaw sila doon sa hearing po or doon sa trial?
Attorney Jay, this is an opinion that I think Red would like to solicit from us. No, let me go.
Okay.
So,
All right.
the media, or if ever there's going to be a witness, no, na nandoon during the press briefing, they will not be tested as to the profession by which they are actually conducting interviews. They will be asked to verify whether that video is doctored or not. So their presence alone would prove that the video is not doctored, which also confirmed by the report of the NBI.
Okay. Attorney, may daladag ko kayo?
Alam niyo, wala akong personal no. Nasa batas ang kapangyarihan ng impeachment court na mag-issue ng subpoena, no? At regardless of personalities, kahit sino hong makatanggap ng subpoena, responsibilidad ho yan under the law na sumunod.
Okay. Okay, yun lang po. Thank you.
And Red, just to give you a
Okay.
para kasi importante yung mga tanong mo para sa akin Just to give you this can be within the realm of possibility. Hindi ibig sabihin na nandiyan nakalista yung witness ay automatic kailangan cast on stone, dapat matawag siya. So depending on how the actual trial would go.
Okay, yun lang po.
Yeah, if I could just add quickly, that is correct. For example, if the defense would already agree on the authenticity of the videos, then there may be no more need to present other witnesses to prove that fact.
Okay, laro po yan. Thank you po.
Thank you. With your indulgence, we will just allow Lance Mexico for today's last question from Newswatch Philippines. Lance?
Hello po, good afternoon kay Attorney Jay and Kong Zia. Very quick lang po kasi parang just in lang po siya from the Senate. According to Senate Secretary Ray Bantug, the pretrial conference could be reopened if the court decides to allow the opening of the box containing the tax records of Vice President Duterte and her spouse. Any reaction lang po from the trial spokespersons? And just in case, sir, na allow po yung pre-trial or i-reopen yung pre-trial before July 6, will this affect the calendar at all or hindi naman kayo nangangamba?
Well, that will be good if that happens, because that's precisely what we prayed for in our motion, that it be opened so that we'll be allowed to conduct an inventory in its contents and mark them accordingly. Now, we don't think this will cause any delay on our presentation of our first witnesses scheduled on July 6, since mabilis lang naman to. We're just talking about one box. We'll just open it, inventory it, and mark it. So it could be done in a few hours. So we don't see any reason why that would cause any delay.
Thank you, sir. Attorney, Kong Zia, would you like to add po or okay na po kayo?
Well, ang akin lang position naman talaga ng House Prosecution Team is whatever the notice, the directives of the impeachment court, we will comply.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Lance. Hingin na po natin ang closing statements ng ating guest. Kong Sia.
Nauna ako kanina ng opening. I think it's
Okay,
proper.
si
Attorney
Attorney
Jay would go first.
Yeah, so just a short one. No? Again, we'd like to emphasize that we're very glad that the impeachment process has finally commenced. And gumugulong na ho siya. At siguraduhin ho natin pare-pareho na ito ay hindi maantala. At patuloy ho na mangyari na ang hinihintay ho. Not just by the prosecution, and I believe the entire country, na maglapagan na ng ebidensya. At let's see this through to its logical conclusion, which is mag-decide ang mga presiding judges based on the evidence presented by both parties.
Well, sa amin po, para sa akin, gusto na po natin hikayatin ang ating taong bayan na makilahok at manood at subaybayan po ang itong nararating na impeachment trial na to sa June 6. 10 araw na po. 10 araw na lang po ang natitirang araw para makita po ng taong bayan na kung ano po yung magpag-uusapan dyan ay unang-una, ito po yung sinasabi nating pananagutan ayon sa ating saligang batas. Para po sa kanila ito, it does not need that you agree or you disagree to the allegations contained under the articles of impeachment. What is important is this process is enshrined in the Constitution specifically to serve the Filipino people. Ito po ang ating ginagawang garantisa sa ating taong bayan na ano po ang may papresenta ng prosecution ay ang katotohanan at pawang katotohanan lamang. At ang katotohanan dapat walang expiry, dapat po ay madaliing pag-usapan. Nag-umpisa na po ang proseso, tatapusin po natin ito. So again, nagpapasalamat po tayo sa Senado sa matiwasay at maayos na pre-trial conference. Nagpapasalamat din po tayo sa ating mga partners at mga kaibigan sa media dahil natutulungan po nila ang Senado para ipakita or i-report ang mga aktual na pangyayari sa pre-trial conference sa publiko. Tayo po ay nagpapasalamat sa buong sambayan ng Pilipino dahil pinakita po nila, according to the survey, na gusto na po nilang tapusin itong proseso na ito. What we can assure you is that the House Prosecution Team will be there to deliver to you the truth and nothing but the truth at the finish line. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po ulit. Trial Spokesperson Zia Alonto Jong of Plano del Sur and Trial Legal Spokesperson Attorney Benjamin J. Tolosa Jr. for joining us this afternoon. To everyone, maraming salamat po sa mga staff ng PRIB at sa ICTS. Thank you po. Magandang tanghali po sa inyo lahat.